And this is how you respond to your classmates. How the song made you feel. It says them, but we know it means you. How it made you feel. That's what you're going to be talking about. How it applies to your school, to you in school. How it applies to you in life. How does it apply to your life? Those are the types of responses that you should be using to respond to your classmates. How does it respond to your life? How does it respond to you?
How's it going for you? What I do right here? Send it. What I do?
Right.
I said, what I do is send it.
Let's game. Who's game? Video while I have this girl.
And I have it set up so that you can't edit, because if you edit, you might look at somebody else's responses and come up with a response, and then I'm not able to see who you are, right? No, you're gonna turn it in, and then after you turn it in, you'll see classmates' answers, and that's where you will reply to your classmates. Okay? I love the way how she's proofreading what she has written before she before she even turns it in. She's proofreading to make sure she has everything in it that she needs in her response. Go ahead and send it. I'm gonna turn it in now. And then you'll see classmates' answers. Right here. And the way you reply to them, you just hit reply underneath your classmate's name. Alright, so have you replied to your two people yet?
I have replied to Jake Ways and Jamar.
Okay.
My name too.
Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap up this portion of the responding. So you should have already responded, and if you haven't, you can carry out your responses, as you get free time throughout the day. That's the same thing what I tell my children. They can always do that during free time because it's productive work and it's productive conversation. So let's go ahead and move a step further into the actual activity. So let's go ahead and take hands off the Chromebooks or hands off laptops. Hands up, stick them up. Everybody needs to be hands up right now. Hands up, so we can listen to the directions. You can put them down now, but I need to make sure that all ears are attentive so that we can know what the activity is that I'm expecting. Alright, so what the activity is, you should have already learned about somebody wanted but so then. Because this is how we summarize. We use somebody wanted but so then to help us summarize the events in the story. So what you guys are going to be doing, we're going to do a read aloud together, and you have the PDF located in your Google Classroom, so you can go back to your coursework, and the way you do that is go right back to your class in the top left side underneath the 3 lines. Click your classroom.
You hear that?
In Google
The
Classroom.
3 lines.
So go there now.
Under your class.
If you have a helper button. She said go to
All
the
right.
3
And you
lines.
may see like your teacher's name or the
Go to
name of
classwork.
the class. I know Wallace said there's morning, so you're gonna click morning. And there says Morgan, so they're gonna click Morgan. All right. Now.
She do it. She
Go
got it
over
right
to
place.
those lines.
Ask her what to do. If you know it, gotta tell a partner for me.
All right. So if everybody is there, can I see you touch your nose so I know that you are there? Touch your nose for me, so I know you are there. All right. So everybody is there. And so you should essentially be looking at your screen, and I'll be reading off of mine. All right? Grown up. I used to be a superhero, soaring high from tree to tree. With a cape around my shoulders, I was happy as could be. Grow up, my brother said. By 4, I made a rocket ship. It took me all the way to Mars. It started out as a cardboard box before I steered it to the stars. Grow up, my sister said. At 5, I could could read and write in every language ever heard. The pictures gave me all I needed, and crayon scrawls stood in for words. Grow up, my best friend said. At 6, I put my cape away. At 7, a box was just a box. By 8, I read and wrote with ease. I could tell the time on clocks. You're growing up, my mother said. I miss my cape. Sometimes I think that boxes still could make cool forts. But I have no time for make-believes. I'm busy writing school reports. I don't always like being grown up. All right? I want you to take about 5 minutes to reread that again to yourself. And we're going to share some things that relate to us. Okay? So take about 5 minutes to reread to yourself and think of some things that relate to you. At least one line from the poem. And teachers, get ready to select two of your students to share back for me. To the poem. So if you would go up to where it says
wrong people.
I used to be a superhero, soaring high from tree to tree. As I read that line, it took me back in time to me being a little kid, maybe even you guys' age. We had this huge, big oak tree in the backyard, and I used to love to climb that tree. So when I read soaring high from tree to tree, it reminded me of how I used to sit for hours and hours, sometimes even reading up in the tree with my legs crossed, reading. My mom would be looking for me, and I would be in that tree. But as I got older, I couldn't climb that tree no more. I couldn't. I was too old. And then I would hear my cousins, my big cousins, tell me, "Grow up. That's for babies. Don't do that. You still climbing trees? Why?" And so that was my connection to the text. How many of you have ever been told, "Grow up"? Or at your age, or that's for babies. You heard that before, right? So we all have some type of connection to this piece. So I have two people that I'm gonna have share out, and after they share, I'll be looking for Wallace and BIS to respond. 2 people to respond from each group. All right. I got her to share. Give me your name again. I'm trying to help you. Hunter. Yes. I don't know how to forget you, Hunter. All right, make sure you stand up loud and proud. And you can go to the board and point out where you want to, which line it was for you, if you want to.
Out loud, Hunter.
I did. Sometimes I think boxes are still could make cool forts, but I had no time for make-believe because I'm busy writing school books. I did that because I like to make forts out of chairs, and I like to do it, but it wasn't until we grew up, so I could. And I wanted to keep it. I kept thinking they were cool, and I said I'm gonna stop making them because I had school forts right now.
So you realize that as you became older, what changed? Your responsibilities changed. All right. I had another student that I wanted to share. It was you. Yeah. What's your name again?
Look.
Jareek. All right. Make sure
Talk
you speak
loud.
loud.
Let him get close to the mic so they can hear him.
My brother said, cause it was one time when I was 8 and my mama, it was one time my mama told me no, and I started crying, and my brother told me to go, and I just grew up.
You just grew up. So you, at that point, you realized what?
And then not crying, not crying, and your mom said those things you said.
Okay, so to accept things, that you had to accept it. You're getting older. You have to accept. All right. Let me hear from Wallace. Good job, guys. Sounds good. All right, let me hear from the second person.
When I was little, I used to write all scribble scrabble pretending it was my own language.
In his own language.
One more time for me. I couldn't hear. One more time.
When I was little, I used to write all scribble scrabble pretending it was my own language.
Okay, that's cool too. So you have a connection there. All right, let me hear from BIS. Two people from BIS.
Wallace need to mute.
And make sure that you mute.
Tell Wallace to
Wallace
mute.
need to mute.
Wallace, can Wallace be muted?
Yeah, they did.
From the story, what relates to me is when he said he was growing up by 7 and 8. I was growing up when I was like 4, and I was always responsible with the stuff that I had.
I love that response, and I love how he made his connection reflect back to his very own life, and how he said, that he had to eventually what? Grow up. All right, let me hear from the second person at BIS. Very good.
What relates for me is the story is when his best friend tells him to grow up.
When his best friend tells, so does that happen to you before? Has your best friend told you to grow up? Yes. And so that's a great connection. That's something that you actually went through. And guys, when we're reading literature, we have to always find some type of way to connect back to the text. That's what creates a great response. Those are the types of responses that we're looking for. So go ahead and kiss your brains, because you guys did a good job with that. All right? Now, moving along into the activity that you guys are going to do. Your teachers are going to provide for you some chart paper. What you guys are going to do is you're going to summarize somebody wanted but so. You're going to analyze this poem that we just read and that we just discussed as a class. You're going to determine the somebody, the wanted, the but, and the so, and the then of it. You can create a chart. I have a sample of what your chart may look like, but it does not have to look exactly like this. I want you to be creative with it. All right, so this is what you're gonna be expected to do. You're gonna be expected to analyze the poem. All right, while you're analyzing the poem, you're using somebody wanted but so, and you're also gonna answer 2 questions. The 2 questions are gonna be.
Wait a minute, hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can get it.
The 2 questions are gonna be, what is the theme of this poem? And you're gonna provide evidence to support your response. So the evidence may be a line or 2 from the poem, just as we shared amongst our classmates. And the second question that you're going to answer is, how does the theme of this poem relate to your life? Okay, those are the 2 questions that you're going to be answering. You may respond within, this response may be anywhere between 2 to 3 sentences. So this is what I'm expecting for you to do. Now, I do have the how and this is how it looked. Each student got one sticky note for them to respond. So essentially, you guys are gonna each be responsible for your own response. Those 2 questions I just gave you, that's what's on the sticky notes. Their responses, their individual responses. Okay, so, and this is the chart. Somebody want to hold some keys? Not just a little bit so they can see. This is their chart. Not gonna stay up, but I just want you to show. I just wanted to show you a sample of what it looks like. If you understand the activity, let me get a on your desk. All right. So let's get started. I'm gonna pass out the chart paper to my class, and they're gonna work in the groups. You're gonna work in the groups that you're already in. If you understand, say check, check. Check, check. Let me hear everybody report back. They got a thumbs up over here, thumbs up over here. All right, let's begin.